Hi, and thanks for watching another instructional video for CSCI 1300. In this video, I'm going to show you how to use Python with VS Code in 3 different ways. The first way that I'm going to show you is how to compile and run Python code through the command line. In order to use Python with VS Code, you will need to navigate to your Extensions tab and make sure that you have added the extension for Python to your VS Code environment. I would also make sure that you use sudo apt install Python 3 to make sure that you have everything installed correctly through the terminal as well. Once you have done this, you can then create a .py file. So instead of using a C++ file or a C file, you'll use a .py extension. In this case, I'm just going to do a hello world situation program, and we're just going to print hello world to the screen. In order to run this code through the command line, what we're going to do is then type Python 3 and then the name of the file we want to run. And we don't have to specify an executable, we'll be able to just print directly to the terminal. Another way that this can be done is, say you want to open a temporary window for Python through your terminal. You can as well, just by typing Python 3. And if Python 3 is installed through the terminal, it will open up a Python window in your terminal. You can see that this is a Python terminal because we've got these 3 arrows representing that we are on a line that is waiting for input. So say we wanted to do the exact same thing here. We could type hello world into a print command, and we would get the exact same thing but through a live terminal. Python allows us to do multiple different types of things. So say we wanted to print basic commands here, we could do so as well. We could assign variables, and we could then do computations with those in real time inside of our Python shell. To exit out of the Python shell, we're going to type Control-Z to stop the process, and we'll go back to our regular command terminal. Another way that you can also access Python files and run them without having to do command line arguments is that you can create a Jupyter Notebook. And a Jupyter Notebook will allow you to run cells within it. And these cells can be ran using a Run Cell button. In order to use a Jupyter Notebook, you'll then have to make sure that you have the Jupyter extension enabled as well for your VS Code environment. And when you have that enabled, you can then create a Jupyter Notebook to run Jupyter Notebook cells that involve Python or any other script. And as long as we have our correct Python executable selected for the kernel, I'm going to use the Anaconda version because I'm also using Anaconda, but you can also use the 3.864, 3.8.5 64-bit version. You'll then just type whatever you want to into the cell. You can print a hello world command. You can say x is equal to 6, y is equal to 7, print x plus y, right? And then what we can do here is run this with our run cell command, and we'll be able to run this here, and we'll get an output for each cell. So each cell will be a separate thing. So say I wanted to create a loop here, and then print the information here. I could do that in a new cell, and it would give me a completely different output. And the same thing could keep going on and on. We could keep creating cells for different things. So that's all I've got for right now on running Python through VS Code. Thanks for watching, and happy coding!